Hand clap to the master, guys. We are finally back again for another reaction on the one and only Mystelics reaction. Guys, big up all the Mystelics YouTube family. I appreciate you guys for definitely tuning in to another reaction video. Of course, no comments there. Big up yourself as well for definitely tuning into this year reaction video. If this is your first time, subscribe and click the subscribe button, click the bell, and then of course click all, and you'll be pretty much notified when I drop my videos right there. And then, guys, I actually did this video already, but I was so vexed. You should see, guys. Look, I don't know if you can see this. I was getting worked up. But I said that is too much for YouTube, so I have to do this video over, guys. So I'd appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up. I have to do another one after this. This video threw me off, man. This beat it. That the whole situation just threw me off right there, guys. And because I have to do a different video concerning the whole weather conditions that was taking place all over the Caribbean islands, St. Lucia, Dominica, St. Kitts, St. Martin, a number of places, guys. I have to do this video. Hopefully I get to do this after this one. But we're gonna get into this right there, guys. The Prime Minister is announcing, he's addressing the nation. Man, I tell you.
Residents, visitors, then as your humble servant of 22 years.
Humble, yes, I
was very moved by your positive responses to my Independence Day address.
Who are moved by that? People don't see you lying. Who moved by it? I want to know.
The resolve of many to play the part in helping your government and our country realize the goals we have set ourselves over the next decade.
What goals have you guys set? I know you guys keep talking about the international airport, and we don't know nothing about the international airport yet. We saw you bring some white trucks down, and then CBI go down, and then no.
On November 3rd, I highlighted the impact of climate change.
Of course. Guys, that's one thing you have to notice with the Prime Minister. He's going to constantly keep reiterating how other things are the factors that actually destroying Dominica. Now, realizing if you look at other Caribbean islands, they're actually developing themselves. They don't give themselves any excuse. They say, this is what has happened. Let us see how we can make a dynamic change to at least not just adapt, but to also foster a growth factor in this regard. St. Kitts, there's growth. St. Lucia, there's growth. Barbados, there's growth. Grenada, there's growth from where they were back then. Why is Dominica still complaining that it's still being oppressed by the very situations that other Caribbean islands have been? Because human beings are creatures of repetition. The Prime Minister is going to constant, and he did this on November 3rd, keep reiterating everything else is the problem, not his decisions that he has been making for the country. And it's rather interesting that the Prime Minister is talking about all kind of situations happening, but he's building a mansion in the same time that the world was faced with all these obstacles. So apparently it's for some, not for all. You building a mansion.
One of the main challenges confronting
with all these challenges that you say in there,
small states like Dominica, a problem created elsewhere, but which has dramatic impact on our economy. The government has mobilized heavy equipment to assist with the clearing of roads, drains, and to provide general support to the residents.
That's good. For the eastern side of the community where it was most affected with the weather conditions, that is a good move right there. Send the resources over there to clear the roads and so forth.
We shall spare no effort and resources to provide the necessary support. I have directed that all resources required shall be assigned to the east to provide relief.
That's good. That's good news.
We shall continue to pray for the safety of all.
Amen.
My brothers and sisters, I believe in Dominica. I have faith in the capacity of our people to rise above the occasional challenge, to persevere in the face of adversity, and make do with what we have in times of great difficulty.
What do you mean make do? We created so much money from CBI. You don't think creating factories would actually help Dominicans? You don't think putting things in place, even if CBI were to go down, would actually help Dominicans? Or are you thinking of them helping you by paying taxes to you so you can do whatever you want? Live the life that you want to constantly live like you're a king or something in the place? I don't get it.
In my address to the country last Thursday,
Nonsense.
I set forth clearly that what would be expected of you, the residents, you, the investors, you, Dominicans living abroad.
What is expected from you, Mr. Prime Minister? What was expected from you? What was expected from the Prime Minister? Not to do things for the people, huh? Not to do things for the people, creating sustainable jobs that will help the people create things for themselves and make them independent. We celebrated 44 years of independence. 44 years of independence depending on a man for 22 years. Interesting. But money going down now. So we might as well try to jump ship. No?
And also you, friends of Dominica, committed to playing a meaningful role in our development. Dynamic Dominica Manifesto. And we have been delivering on it despite the unfavorable global climate.
Blame. Keep blaming everything else. Everything, just blame. Humans are creatures of repetition. Blame everything else. Keep telling them it's outside that is a problem. Not me. Outside. Oh, that's what it's going to be doing. I show her.
The additional measures that I outlined on Thursday will help cushion the impact of the rising oil and fuel prices on the world market. And
my brother, what you talking about? What you talking about? Cushioning prices. When we know the solution was in VAT. The very rubies themselves say when it come down, they already have a high price to pay. So when they come to resell now, it's not much they're making from it. They already do selling at a loss. Because they are not the ones regulating the prices. You are the ones who could have regulated the price by decreasing VAT. You guys, you Minister of Finance, and you're talking about boy.
People, and will help Dominica keep moving forward and upward to a brighter.
It's like saying nice things. You say nice things because it's sounding nice, but in reality, it's not true. It's not true.
Dominicans have proven time and time again that we are capable of bouncing back from the most nerve-wracking and tempestuous of circumstances.
Of course. Blame everything outside. Move on. Come on. Mark, behave yourself.
Century. We managed to stay afloat in a global food and petroleum product crisis.
Of course.
That has left many an economy in a moribund state.
Yes.
Social media can be bad, but it can also be good. It enables us to see firsthand what is happening in the world.
Yeah, we also see other countries elevating. We also see other countries giving their citizens stimulus packages, financial packages. We also see those things. Then Dominica asking you, where's their own? Even though you put the country under state of emergency, which means you are the one who's supposed to help the people, give them monies and this kind of things. That during the time, the people that had to go. Boy, tell you, boy, as if baby's me that losing my head.
We have all seen the impact of COVID-19 on other countries and the combined impact of COVID and the war in Ukraine.
Of course.
On the cost and availability of food.
So why are other countries doing better than Dominica though? Why are our gas prices higher than the rest of the Caribbean? And we have one of the lowest incomes in the Caribbean. Why?
Experiences across the globe has served to sensitize Dominicans to the very difficult conditions that we, your government, have had to navigate in the last 3 years. Are high in Dominica. Food prices, my brothers and sisters, humanity to man have dealt us. We tune into the international news each day.
Of course.
And the outlook of several countries is becoming grim.
You see? He's not looking to see how they can adapt, like other countries have adapted, to see how best they can suit the circumstances that have been dealt to them. He's not looking to see how they can better it, you know. But no, he building a mansion during that same time.
Here in Dominica, we have begun to fight back. We have been knocked to the ground repeatedly.
But you that knocking people to the ground so much times, it is one thing when we're facing the global economy. That is one thing. But it's another thing when we're facing our own people.
But we are back on our feet. And we have dusted ourselves off. And we are on the move again. We have a story in Dominica we can all be proud of. You do not have to be an economist to observe and understand that government's revenues have been rocked in recent years.
You mean, what is our revenue, guys? What was our revenue before? If not CBI, what else? So if he's talking about government revenue being rocked, isn't he talking about CBI? Because if you didn't take the monies to do something in the country, like, you know, building factories and stuff that can actually create some level of sustainability that creates money by us creating from what we have, invisible money I call it. You know, we have our grapefruits, we have our oranges, we have whatever, putting that in factories to make juice and all these kind of things. We can sell over the place, sell waters like you wanted to do in 2013, which you never did, by the way, and you know, create these kind of factories. Wouldn't that be a good thing? Wouldn't that help to not rock the government's income? Don't you think so? Well, Dominica's income, not government income, but hey.
By the impact of Erica and Maria.
Of course.
By the COVID pandemic.
Yes.
By the war in Ukraine.
All right.
Revenues were down from every sector.
Yeah, revenues were down because the sectors were not generating money, bro. And the one sector that was generating money, you gave it to foreigners.
Yet, government expenditures remained relatively high because we continue to meet the needs of our people. And we prevented people from descending into abject poverty by keeping them employed.
Keeping who employed? You know how much business is left as a result of you, Mr. Prime Minister? Ross left because of you. 40% of the GDP left because of you. And guess what? We are hearing that you are now the #1 shareholder for housing in Barbados with the very Ross that you guys are allowed to leave.
Yes, these challenges would have resulted in delayed payment.
That is the same man that talking about the struggles and the challenges in Dominica. That is building a mansion during the same time. So it affecting some, it doesn't affect him. It affects the entire Caribbean, but it affects you. You building a mansion during Corona situation. Boy,
to some of our creditors, but were unprecedented. Employed and their families secure, lost their jobs. We were able to wrestle COVID to the ground. And yes, we are now in recovery mode as a result of wise.
Yeah, brother, the only reason why you say wrestle because the diaspora checking they're not coming down if all you still have the mask stuff on it. And the chicken are you removing that? True or false? Let me know.
Decision making. I am happy to report that we are addressing the issue of late payments to creditors, and several accounts now show a zero balance. This government, my friends, took this.
So they run this a multi-billion-dollar industry, generating billions of dollars. No creditors, zero. Can remind you of the airport. They say they're saving how much millions of dollars every month to put in airport, towards airport. Only to find out is what, $78 are remain.
Deliberate steps to maintain social services.
But you creating mansion, or you don't find that strange, or it's just me?
We insisted that families should not go without the necessities of life, even though revenues were declining drastically.
So why didn't you develop what Dominica is known for? Ask any economist out there who knows anything about Dominica. It's not tourism. It's not tourism. It's agriculture. Dominica is a food basket, or was the food basket of the Caribbean. It's literally in the middle of the smaller chains of Caribbean islands. Smack dab in the middle. We can feed the whole from north to the south. But it's not, that's not what is happening, is it? St. Lucia now sending seaweed to Dubai. Seaweed? That's something that lined up on our shores like crazy, just creating nasty scent in the place. We could dig that up and say, hey, Dubai, look us there. We don't have friends in Dubai now. We have a 28-story building in Dubai. You mean to tell me we can sell seaweed to them?
We held steadfast to our commitments to the elderly. They were at risk, and we ensured that their needs were met.
What about the lady that was complaining the other day saying she reaching out to you? You should see her house. Emo News, I think, was carrying it. I did a reaction on that. Lady saying, Nela, she reach up to all you. She... Sorry, guys.
During that period of grave uncertainty, is this evening the better for it? Because we remained glued to a philosophy of leaving no one behind.
Really? Really? With the amount of people are begging to find jobs and this kind of things. Thank God Claire Harbour come to Portsmouth. Thank God it's not because of all Claire Harbour come to Portsmouth. Claire Harbour wanted to come to Portsmouth for a long, long time. And finally, as a result of you guys letting Ross go, Claire Harbour came to, but I say thank God for Claire Harbour, but Ross was much better there. You could have get another building somewhere to put Claire Harbour and that'll create more jobs in the place. True or not true?
Fellow Dominicans, residents and friends, attainment of the goals we have set ourselves call for hard work and dedication of investors. With them to give of the best in the implementation and administration of such programs. And the achievement of dynamic Dominica requires inspired and inspiring leadership. It requires ministers of government leading from the front. It requires energy and commitment. It requires constant regeneration and rejuvenation. The Dominica Labour Party has not shirked from making changes that enables it to remain dynamic, relevant, and inspiring. In the last general elections, we introduced to you a new slate of candidates that included 11 new, young, and energetic faces. The challenges that they have faced have not been for the faint-hearted. They would have come into office at one of the most difficult times in our history.
So let me get this straight. So you're bringing young, inexperienced people into something that was the most difficult, challenging time that they would have faced leading as PAL reps. Doesn't that mean that will create a sense of incompetence? Wouldn't you need more experienced people to handle the rougher challenges that you wanted to put these people in? I mean, Erica passed, Maria passed. That was a difficult time. Who knew about 2020 when the Rona came through? Well, no, I think there was a whole idea that the whole thing was happening around that time, because I think it's December. Yeah, I remember when they say it was in China and things were happening over there and they say it might spread and what the blah, blah, blah. So there was a little of instance in that regard right there. I think it's only when because I remember when they were saying it's coming to America, that's when I left. And that was in January or February, one of them days. So it wasn't too far-fetched. You understand me? So you're bringing the new people in, inexperienced people to handle a very challenging time. Shouldn't that be, people who are experienced? And if you're bringing inexperienced people, young, new people in to handle these things, then doesn't that mean that is a failure on your part? Or you just brought them in to control them because you're checking the older folks who were more hard-headed, so you couldn't control them, so you had to bring new people in. Wasn't that what the goal was? Because we're trying to figure out, because some of the people who you exchange won their seats.
What we had hoped to achieve has been in many ways set off by the COVID pandemic. We are not
blame
we are at a crucial stage of national development, ladies and gentlemen.
Still, after 22 years, crucial stage of national development.
And we have to ensure that we have the right team for these times. Mm-hmm. The road ahead will be challenging. It will be difficult.
Yeah, except we heard that there are 3 people in your team who decided that what you were saying in a meeting, they didn't agree with and they walked out. And as a result, they had I think it was the vote of confidence in you. They had none of that. So I think they resigned as a result of what you were saying. And as a result of that, you had to call elections. Vote of no confidence, 3 individuals walked out. This is what I was hearing and in a circle saying. The vote of confidence, there were 3 individuals who walked out. This is why you're talking about even bringing new people now, because that's where he's heading. He's going to be bringing in new people. But as a result of the election being called, they're saying that 3 of the individuals had a vote of no confidence in the prime minister, and as a result of the 3 individuals having a vote of no confidence, he then has to recall elections. That's one of the reasons I'm hearing.
We believe that the Dominica Labour Party must look across the country and secure the perfect skill set for these uncharted waters. Accordingly, there will be some changes to our parliamentary team.
You mean the people who had vote of no confidence in you? So you have to bring in new people because that's how it normally goes, not true?
We have discussed these changes among ourselves, and the time is coming.
You mean the same discussion all you was having in Cabrits when Ian them was saying about he going to be replaced, and the people were like, no, they're not in this, and you were heading down to Cabrits. You were heading down there. What is it, true or false? You were heading down there to Cabrits. When you realize the opera that was going on there because they say Ian is going to be replaced, you decide not to go down there. You turn around and you went back where you came from.
Very shortly, when they shall be revealed to the country. Labour is not about discarding anyone. The task ahead is tremendous. We will need all hands on deck to give ourselves a reasonable chance at success. All current hands will be redeployed to assist in the navigation of our national ship to safe harbor. But ever so often, as a people, we need to pull off the road and undertake needed assessment, refocusing and recalibration.
Maybe bringing younger people you can control too. More people, get rid of those people who probably giving a little issue, get rid of them, and then, probably pay them off maybe, and then bring in new people who you can control.
In what areas are we falling short? These are questions I believe.
You mean in all the growth sectors except the construction sector, which is handled by the foreigners? You mean what areas are we falling short, really?
A mature, experienced governing party.
Are you going to have a more experienced governing party when you bring in new people in? That making sense to you guys?
Needs to ask itself and respond to ever so often. I believe that the reopening of our country and our economy post-COVID-19 is the best time for us as a country and indeed as a government.
So the only reason why they open the country is because the diaspora is checking they're not coming if all you have still that mask thing. That's all they take it out. True or false? True. Tell me I lie.
To stop for a national reset. Act as if this country and its economy were not affected by the ravages of this global setback.
Of course.
Go back to the drawing board.
Drop back to the drawing board after 22 years. We have to go back to the drawing board after 22 years.
Dominica is no different. This current Dominica Labour Party administration was elected in 2019 with a particular mandate. We outlined policies in pursuit of dynamic Dominica. We set ourselves goals within the...
Guys, what goals were accomplished by this dynamic Dominica? What goals? People constantly begging the Prime Minister for stuff because the Prime Minister them have killed the economy. The people have to constantly beg the Prime Minister, hey, please give me something. If they don't support me, then you know you pui. Is that the dynamic Dominica we're talking about? CBI going down now, maybe that's why they run in. True or false?
In a specific time frame that cannot now be met because of the unforeseen global circumstances.
Of course.
Things we wanted to do, we could not do.
Of course.
Nile wronged us. Running a government and a country is serious business. We have to operate in the realm of reality and practicality.
Yes, practicality. You building a mansion while you telling the rest of the country that things are bad, yet still you still giving pleasure yachts free, duty free, and waiving their fees. You literally waiving the rich fees that can actually apply to Dominica and contribute to Dominica.
Determined to achieve all that we set ourselves to do in 2019. Indeed, the reality today is that we must do everything we promised back then and much, much more now as a consequence of the challenges we endured over the past 2.5 years.
Yes.
We need a national reset if we are to fully recover from COVID development. We have done our own internal analysis. I started first with myself. I have been your chief servant for 18 years. I am eternally humbled and very grateful for the opportunity you have given me to serve.
You mean not putting bribery and treating in there? Bribing and treating, giving people money and stuff so they can be loyal to you, or giving them houses and telling them they have to be loyal to you, or they have to stay quiet, or you remove it from them. Not true.
I hope that my efforts will be judged fairly.
Fairly? Judged fairly? You really want to be judged fairly, sir? Really?
And within context. On this occasion of national reset, I have listened to the views of all, and I have made a personal decision, which I have shared with some of my party elders. You have given me a mandate that constitutionally allows me to remain in office as your Prime Minister until April 2025. I do not intend to go beyond that date. I have run my race, and I intend to finish the course.
Or maybe CBI is going down and realize, hey guys, we have pimped this country too much. We have pimped this country down to zero, where the banks have $0 for us. I mean, banks are leaving too. We have pimped this country down. CBI is going down, revenues is going down. He literally says this from time to time. What is the sense we're going to be staying there? I mean, I've made a lot of money. I've built my mansions. I mean, I've put things in place in Dominica where if I want to come down, I can just chill and not be bothered much by anything that's going on. The people will ball and so forth and so forth. But I've made my money. I have made my money. What is the point of me staying there? To do what? To do what again? For the past 18 years that you're talking about, what have you done for Dominica, sir? Guys, can any one of you guys tell me what has the government, this guy, done for Dominica when it comes down to the elevation of the people? Remember, guys, I'm not UWP, I'm not freedom pie. I'm a classic liberal. I look at the plight of the people and see how the people have elevated or have regressed. Sorry. They have gone back. So how have the people elevated? You have given them houses, true, as a result of the cause and effect of the economy that you killed. They cannot create the houses, so as a result of that, people need assistance. So how have you helped the people? How?
With Dominica safely back on a road of sustained progress and prosperity. That is why I am calling for a national reset. I would like...
You're calling for national reset after 22 years.
However, to preside over a peaceful and dignified transition of prime ministerial leadership to someone of my party and my colleagues' choosing.
Maybe somebody you can control too. Sometimes just like they say, Obama is still in charge of let me leave that alone.
We have as a party and a government to prepare for the next 5 years of COVID rebuild and rebound. It will not be easy and will require commitment, dedication, and perseverance, positive attitude. This is the desired formula for carrying Dominica over the proverbial line.
So why haven't you done that for 18 years? Why haven't you done that?
It is my intention to stay on for another 2.5 years, if it is your will. But some of my colleagues who have been with me through this journey and others whose stint in elective politics has been much shorter have collectively agreed that the time for renewal of the team is now.
Or they quit, and as a result of them quitting, you have to call elections. So you have to bring in new people.
We need a refreshed Dominica Labour Party team for these very unpredictable, unprecedented, and very challenging times. Following the changes we made in 2019, there shall be next time around to be other changes to ensure the continued renewal of the Labour Party frontline and maintain our continued relevance and the achievement of the visionary goals that we have set ourselves and our country. The Dominica Labour Party must continue to be the beacon of hope. It must be the option for those who wish to see our country progress.
Guys, has that been the case? Has that been the case? For the people who are actually in need of houses, I would say yes, that has been the case. But when it comes down to the overall aspect of things, has that really been the case though? The very one who's killing the economy has been suggested ideas upon ideas how you can literally build back Dominica by creating factories in the place. And even during the whole handbag situation in Grand Bay, they were saying, guys, Grand Bay needs factories. You put factories there. Even Christian Gabriel was talking about that very same thing. Building factories in Grand Bay. We know about the marijuana industry. Now the Prime Minister wants to go into it. Multi-billion-dollar industry. The very Prime Minister himself, him, was saying that is not a growth factor for Dominica. A multi-billion-dollar industry in its infancy when it was elevating it at that time. It was already elevating, you know. It was about, what, 6-7 years back in 2018. Much less what we would have been now in this whole thing.
The challenges that we face are now. They are already upon us. We cannot take chances with the future of this country.
My brother, you taking chances every day with Dominicans. Every day.
We have set ourselves on a progressive path of development and growth.
Where? Wait. Where? Guys, please, in the comment box below, I would like to know what the Prime Minister is talking about. Where is the growth in Dominica? Where's the growth in Dominica? We have nice house-looking hospitals. We have nice house-looking hospitals. But when the very people who have been affected are still have to fly out, or those who are in the hospital get into an accident or something, and you know when they reach in the hospital, there's a high chance that they will die. Rest in peace to Junior. Rest in peace to Kevin as well. He was flown out. But Trinidad said they couldn't do nothing about him, unfortunately. The big question, was it too late? Did they stabilize him well enough? When you have nice looking buildings, but the service is still the same, it can look pretty on the outside but still ugly on the inside. It doesn't make a difference, no.
That will see prosperity for our people and our country.
Which prosperity the people seeing? Which prosperity? Back in the day when Ross was around and the other businesses were there, you used to see people doing a little something, they could, you know, be a little independent. But which prosperity are the people seeing? Which prosperity?
I shall be honored to use the benefits of my 22 years experience in politics to lead the Dominica Labour Party and this country through this period of global, social, political, and economic uncertainty. We shall be the change that the country requires as we continually reshape, adjust, and correct course as we move steadfastly towards a dynamic Dominica, a resilient Dominica. With that in mind, I shall lead a new look Dominica Labour Party into fresh general elections that will be held at the soonest possible time. I want for the year 2023 to begin with a fresh mandate given to a fresh Labour team to commence the work of building post-COVID Dominica. With this in mind, today I wrote to His Excellency the President and advised he dissolves the current parliament of this country effective immediately. I have asked...
I myself was shocked. I was like, did I hear that for real? And I was waiting for the Mystelics family to come and ask me if I hear that, because I would say I don't hear that properly. And then they said to them, the message in me saying election time coming. So when I hear that, I say, okay, well, it's not I hear, Papa.
That a fresh writ be issued on Monday, 7th November 2022 for the holding of general elections in the Commonwealth of Dominica. The Dominica Labour Party will reveal its new look slate of candidates in Roseau on Tuesday, November 8th. Nomination day in Dominica shall be Friday, the 18th of November, 2022.
By the way, today is the last day to register, guys. 12 a.m., 11:59 p.m. Today is the last day to register to vote. So go to your respective areas and register to vote, guys.
General Elections Day in Dominica, the day on which the Labour Party will be seeking a fresh mandate with a fresh team, is Tuesday, 6th December 2022.
Anyways, guys, let me just give my thoughts on this before I know I go too long on this thing. First of all, I think as a result of the individuals quitting, as a result of what SKERRIT was saying, the 3 individuals, vote of no contest, vote of what it called? Vote of no contest. No, what is vote of what now? Vote of something. I was saying it all the time. I forget. I get amnesia, man. Vote of no confidence. No confidence. Vote of no confidence in him. As a result of that, he needed to call election. That's one of the reasons why I think they call it. 2, I think that because United Workers Party have not been the leadership, they have not been the best of its ability right now. I don't think there's a proper leadership. Right there, I think they decided, hey, that's the best time to call it. Most likely we will have a better chance winning. The longer we wait, the less chances we have of winning this thing. So since they are still waiting to put their team together, that would be a real way for them to win too. I think because of CBI going down, they realize, hey guys, it's time for us to roll out. Because we have done all we can. The CBI was our cash cow. CBI is going down, so let us roll out now. Let's leave the rest for these people. I also think that they're probably trying to make the other team take the fall for what they have done. They have literally killed the economy, destroyed the very social aspect of Dominica, and the financial incentives or financial income of Dominica. I mean, look at agriculture. We used to make like what, 80, 90, $100 million per year. Now we're down to what, $5-6 million, $5-6 million per year, and we're happy about that. If not CBI, what else? He was right in this regard, because they didn't focus on agriculture. Yet still St. Lucia doing it. St. Lucia doing it. Come in. So we had this thing. So that is another thing why I think they doing it, this as well. Another reason why I think they're doing it is because the Prime Minister is fed up and wants to finally roll out. And as a result of him, winning this election, he can then 2.5 years from now, he can then say, okay guys, I've quit, and let somebody else take position as leader of the party while they are still in power. That's what they said That's what he said right there. He wants to remain in 2.5 years. If you put in elections now, that means you have to have an election in the next 5 years, not 2.5 years, in the next 5 years. So as a result of him winning this one, he can then say, okay, 2.5 years from now, I'm going to quit, I'm going to retire from that, let somebody else take position in there, and they will still be in power for another 2.5 years, and then he'll roll out. Could be, I also heard that he's trying to become the president. So if during that time that he was, prime minister, is no longer prime minister, a year or 2 years later, he can probably vie for presidency. I don't know. What are your thoughts, guys? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. I know this is a long video, but I have to do another one hopefully later on, man, about the whole situation that's happening to the weather. You guys get to see that. Definitely stay tuned for that as well. It's your boy Mystelics on a Mystelics Reacts, man. I tell you, it's insane what is going on in Dominica. But let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comment box below as well. I'll see you guys in the next section video. Boom, bang.